Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper and today we are going to talk about a sunscreen. We are going to talk about a sunscreen from a French company, and that is from Vichy. So their Capital Soleil series, and it is, as you can see up here, an SPF of 50. So when I saw this one here in this shop, I was actually looking for something that was tinted, but they did not have that one. So I thought I would test this one here instead, because that is also something people are usually very interested in, because it says down here anti-shine. So it says a lot of things on the package. It says dry touch solcreme. Solcreme, that is actually Danish. It says down here in Danish, kombineret til fedtet hud, sensitive hud, or in Swedish, känslig hud. It says something in Suomi Finnish below. It just says exactly the same, and it says on the front here in French and so on. So this is a waterproof one, and it promises that it will keep your skin dry, or sort of dry touch thing. So I have tested this one here, and let us just open it. And I have tested it for a couple of days, and I have been testing it to see if it was actually greasy on my skin, or if it did bother my eyes, or something like that. Did it leave a white cast on my skin? So I looked out for all those sort of things, and we will talk about that later. So here we have this one here, and if we just always good idea just to shake it a little bit, though it is not a physical one, but it does actually have some titanium dioxide in it as well, but that is kind of like very low in the ingredients list, but maybe it will show up on the skin anyway. So we just open it, and it has this sort of yellowish hue, as these sunscreens usually have, and that is some of the filters that are in that causes that sort of yellowish color. Now here it looks kind of like very whitish, but if it lingering a little bit, then it starts to become a little bit yellowish, greenish, orangey, a little bit of a hue difference. So does it have a perfume? Yes, it does have a fragrance, and I will say some sunscreens, when you put them on, you kind of like get used to the perfume, you kind of like don't really sense it, but I think other people do sense it. But in this instance here, I will say when you have smeared that on your face, it is something that you can smell during the day. Maybe if you are in a very windy place, you might not smell it. But if you are, for example, are driving around in a car, or you are sitting inside or something like that, then you will be able to have this perfume that is kind of like, it's a fresh sort of perfume-ish. It's not like that I don't like it, but I don't like to have it in my nose all day long. So for that, yeah, that was a little bit annoying, I would say. So if we just take a little bit more, because we actually need 1.25 milliliter if we are going to test it on the entire face and the neck. So I just have this one here, as I've shown before, and then is 1 milliliter. So that is not enough. So but if we just have a look and see how it will look on the skin, maybe you will get a sense of if it gives a sort of a white cast or not. So we just add a little bit here, and then we fill it up a little bit more, so kind of like this. Maybe we have 1.25 milliliter here, or something kind of like very close to, or maybe actually a little bit more. So if we just put it on this side here of the face, we will just take half of that amount. So we would like to be fair to the product, of course. So we take it like that. And there are people that say it is a little bit difficult to distribute. Well, often it is so with these sort of sunscreens that are mattifying, that they can be a little bit difficult to smear out. So what I actually did was I already helped it along by dabbing it around like that, and that way it was rather a lot easier. So you can see where this is going. It is rather white, but it will actually come down as when it starts to sink into the skin. It will be not that bad. So we just keep it on this side here, so you can see the difference from here to there. So, and the perfume is like some sort of a sanatorium smell or something like that, somewhere where you're having this sort of a fresh sort of seaside-ish fragrance or something like that. So we have kind of like taken half of this stuff, and that must be enough. So this takes a little while before it will sink completely in, and half of that teaspoon, that would be for the neck as well. So we will take some of the stuff down here to spread it out. So like that, and yeah, it needs a little bit of a working, and you should obviously take care that you don't kind of like just take your entire hand and then just smear it and smear it and smear it, because then half of it will just end up in your hand, and then you don't have all the amount on the face that you need. So like that, and now it starts to be a little bit more difficult to distribute. So we just go up here as well. We don't want it in the hair. And now we will put it on the eyelids as well. They say don't put it in your eyes, and you should never put sunscreen in your eyes, obviously. So I just dab this onto my eyelid. So this is one of these sunscreens that are they're meant to be non-greasy and so on, and what that usually means is that they don't really migrate that much. So maybe it could be actually that sometimes a sunscreen is annoying your eyes, but in kind of like when you use it like this, then it might annoy your eyes if you put it directly into your eyes, but it is not migrating that much on the skin, and therefore it kind of like stays very well put where so the whole day. Apart from, and I can show you a little picture of that, when you put it on your eyelids, and then after a little while it will start to give a sort of a white line in the globe line here, and that is the titanium dioxide. It may be some of the other ingredients as well, but I think when I look at the ingredients list that it mainly is titanium dioxide. So now it starts to be a little bit more difficult to distribute, but we will just have to let it sink in. Some people say that it is very greasy and kept being very, very greasy. I will say I have used it both when I did not have a cream underneath, and now we're using it where I'm having my normal daycare sort of routine on. So a normal cream, and that is the way I would use it, because I would not kind of like use a sunscreen without having something on. A sunscreen can sometimes be very moisturizing in itself, so if you haven't really cleaned your skin in the morning, then maybe a sunscreen in itself will be enough. So like this, it maybe you can see that yes, I should maybe work it in a little bit more, but it means that it will take rather some time to do that, and it is still very greasy, but I will say when I used it the other day, it came up as being very mattifying and very kind of like, when I touched it I was rather surprised that it actually was very dry touch. But I think that when it works the best, you should not really apply a heavy layer of your normal moisturizer underneath. So those days where it worked the best for me was when I just woke up in the morning and just used this product here to test out without adding any sort of extra cream on my face. But that way I would say that it worked rather well. But there is another thing, and maybe you can see that on camera, and maybe you can't. It kind of like, but depends a little bit on how the light is. But I will say that definitely this, even on my skin, leaves a sort of ghostly look on my face. So it comes up as being white. I mean, I look pale when I'm wearing this, and I'm pretty sure that if you have a darker skin tone than I have, then this will come up as being some sort of a grayish hue on your skin. I will say this is not something I would say is very great for dark skin. And even when I just sit here as I move my head around, I can see that I have this sort of a grayish lingering color on my face. And actually, because you need a lot of this stuff, it starts to sort of not peel off, but where it is in a very thick layer, it does behave a little bit strange. And that is, I think, because it wants to dry up, and then some of those lumps that are sitting, they start to dry up as the lumps they are, and then you have a bit of a tricky time smearing it evenly out. But I would say now here it is a little bit warm, but it is a little bit difficult if you are sweating a little bit to maybe apply it well. And the other thing, and that is about the eyes, because I will say when I wore it one of the days, then I felt that it kind of like during the evening it started to annoy my eyes a little bit. But not like I would feel with other sunscreens that are really annoying your eyes. So I have actually tested it some days after, and even today I was out walking and I added directly a lot of it on top of my eyelid. And I was out walking, so I was sweating a little bit and so on, and I would say it did not annoy my eye whatsoever. So sometimes when you are trying a product and something is maybe annoying your eyes, maybe the cream is actually not annoying your eyes, and then maybe it's something else. So I have actually tested it several times directly on my eyelid, and it did not annoy my eye. It may be that it will annoy your eyes, but in general I would say when I've tested various sunscreens, then a lot of sunscreens, they really are like, you just need to get the stuff away from your eyes, and I did not feel that with this product here. So for that I would say it's kind of like okay, and maybe that is because it is just in itself not annoying the eyes, but also it could be because it is one of these dry touch ones, so they actually don't migrate on the skin. So yeah, but I would say when you are using the correct amount, this will leave a white cast on your skin. There is really no doubt about it, and I will not use it. Maybe if I will maybe use this tube here if I'm just out and about going for a walk in the woods or something like that, but I would not use it and then go to a party or something like that, because that would no, that wouldn't work. And would I just use a little bit less of it? No, I wouldn't, because then I would not get the SPF that is stated on the bottle. So yes, it is a little bit tricky with sunscreens like this, but it is not something I will buy again. I will say that on my skin, if I don't use a lot of moisturizer underneath, then it did dry up very well, and I was rather surprised that it worked that well. So now the cream has been on the face for about, I would say, 5 minutes, and it is really, it's coming up very matte, as you can maybe see that it doesn't shine anymore. And when I feel on it, it feels really like a powdery dry to the touch. So for that I would say that promise they really live up to. Yeah, in that sense I would say this is a mattifying product. So yes, if you'd like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do other things you must do not to be notified when I upload more of this sort of videos. Thank you for watching, see you, bye.